Okay. Um, I was a Bernie supporter both in 2016 and 2020. Um, and before that, I had voted once for Obama, unfortunately, because I thought he was going to get control of the banking industry and restore Glass-Steagall and restore some sanity to our economy. And of course, since then, since 2008, our deficit has gone up to some ridiculous amount, almost 40 trillion. And before, I think, September 11th of 2000, whatever, it's basically maybe 1 trillion. So my point being that I'm no longer a liberal. I'm no longer a Bernie supporter. I tried to support Trump for a little bit, but his latest destruction and insulting my intelligence with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, etc., I quit him as well. I'm more focused on people like Fuentes, Glenn Greenwald, Blumenthal and Mate and other people, Candace Owens, people like that. We need a new political party, as I've said before, and I'm asking all of you Bernie supporters out there who, either campaigned for him, contributed to him, or really like what he said about a national health program, about getting some of the money back that the United States has exploded all over the world with its technical know-how, both with computers and software, operating systems, etc., data management, AI. All of this is American product. TTL circuitry, the transistor itself was invented by us. And we people at the bottom, not us, not my generation, we've done rather well. Basically, our colleges were free for us when we were kids back in the 60s and 70s. And we were spoiled rotten. But the kids nowadays, as you probably know, are miserable. They're not going to have any jobs. They don't have any money for a house. They can't get married. Basically, I'd say Gen Z women are pretty reprehensible with their body counts and all the other stuff that young men have had to go through these days, and plus being blamed for everything, and then finding out that the patriarchy is somehow this continually developed fiction that the left uses to be divisive. And keep in mind, both of these parties want you divided. The right-wing parties want you to be divided about religious things and other stuff like that don't, burning American flags, free speech issues, and I don't mean positive free speech issues. I mean issues where you're not allowed to say something about things. The left has the same problem. They're very intentionally divisive. And both of these parties are divisive because they don't want to offer anything of substance, anything of importance to solve the problems of America. They all stand for Bibi Netanyahu and his Zionist gang, and both sides do. The Congress of the United States has been bought. Once again, $180 million documented, at least minimum, given to Congress, the Senate and the House in 2024, last year. And what the total will be this year is going to be a lot higher. This is why they had standing ovations for a foreign leader, Netanyahu, who came to the United States insulting First Obama, probably before that, I don't know if he insulted anybody else, but criticizing him and lecturing him from the Joint House of the United States, the Joint House in the Capitol. Joint House being not the Joint House of my early years, but a joint house in that the joint Senate and House of Representatives were there. And again, according to what I've seen lately, he got 58 standing ovations from everybody in Congress, both on the so-called right, the so-called left, the so-called Democrats, and the so-called Republicans. And if that doesn't let you know what the fuck is going on in terms of who's being bought, who's being blackmailed, and the Israelis own our government. They insidiously own deep into our government. This is what Epstein thing is all about. It's not just about the bribes or Mossad. It's how insidious, how invasive, how deep down in the roots the Israelis, the Zionists, the Christian Zionists, and the Jewish Zionists have dug their octopus tentacles into our entire legal and financial system. They have lost control of the media, but they're trying to get that back as well. We need a new party. There's a beautiful lady that I just watched on the internet. She said they're running in two people in Tennessee. One is a Trumpy who is kneeling before the Israeli altar, and the other is a Marxist teacher who wants to put LGBTQ rights education and gender questioning back in our grade schools for our children. I don't mean our high school kids who are a little bit freaky and, you know, you're a little bit questioning all that stuff. I mean kids that have not even reached puberty yet. This is what the left does right now. Why does it do it? Because they're grappling with trying to grab every weirdo on the street that will vote for them. The right does the same in a different way. People that are intellectually, let's call them intellectually insecure. Maybe they don't read. Maybe they don't think clearly. Maybe they're afraid of everything. Maybe they're going to vote like grandpa votes. Who knows? I've never been a right winger in that sense. Yes, I do think abortion is wrong. Do I think it's my responsibility to forbid it? No, I don't have a vagina. I don't have a uterus. So, but I'm getting off the deep end here again, which I always do. We need. I'll get back on the focus of this whole thing. Wake up! If we do not get a new party, just like this gal was saying in Tennessee, they're running a Trumpy, pro-Israeli Trumpy, who's going to be controlled by Israel, because Israel also controls Trump, if you didn't notice, or a left-wing Marxist fanatic, perverse woman, who was in the school system and now is running for Congress. And if she gets in, she'll be one of 435 of them who are going to work. She probably will take, if she's at all like I think she is, she's probably going to take Israeli money as well. AIPAC money or whoever else money. And then the other concern is right now, I'm sure I'm already on a list. They know what I eat, what I buy, what I look at. They know who I am. They meaning Palantir, the American so-called security apparatus. They know about you. And they're going to put you on various lists that they need to have just in case you get out of control. Look around, for God's sake. Look at what is happening in the world. AI is not going to be there to take your job. AI is not going to be there to take your job. It's there to make sure that you are monitored properly and controlled properly. It's there to give you data that's been properly massaged so you don't get the wrong information that might upset you or turn you into somebody who actually has useful knowledge to make decisions. I've seen it do it over and over again, and I have 5, 6, or 7 AI systems, and I use them all. I use Grok, and I use Chat GPT, and I use Perplexity, and I use Gemini Google, and I use the other one, which is comes out of it's got an Italian name of some kind. I use them all, and I will tell you, they're not giving information that's reliable. They're not thinking reliably to give you conclusive understanding or results that are that where they can take data and take data and make it useful for you. They're not looking to make it useful for you. They're looking to make it useful for them to educate you the way they want you educated, and that somehow that will benefit you because then you will harmonize with their beliefs. You won't lose control. You won't get all worried and upset that things ain't right. Well, they're not right. The government has immense amounts of power now that you don't even realize. The people who are in charge of our government are the oligarchs. The government does not work for you. As Carlin said, there's a big club out there and you ain't a member. The only way we're going to fight back that's going to be at all successful is by creating a new political party. I don't understand why it's not being proposed by the so-called influencers that I listen to and the ones I mentioned earlier, right and left. Talking is cheap. I'm doing it right now. All I got to do is set my phone down, pick a lovely area to film from, and then talk, and then upload it to my YouTube site. That's all I have to do. And it could reach literally 1 billion people. How about that, Dad? If I told my dad we had that kind of a capability today, he would say, no, that's your crap from your stupid Star Wars or your even Star Trek crap from, the 70s or 60s, was it? Yeah. In any case, back to what I'm telling you. My generation, before my generation, was a generation we called the greatest generation, which is the World War II generation. They were great people. My dad was one of them. My biological father built ships in Lake Michigan, transport ships and warships as well. He's a Polish, first generation Polak, and my other dad, my second dad, fought. He was German, so of course they didn't have him fight in Germany. He fought in World War II and flew a P-38. Went to military school, was a brilliant man. Killed Japanese, destroyed Japanese boats and ships and stuff like that. P-38. I did none of that. Didn't go to Vietnam or anything that a lot of my friends did. But Vietnam is what drew me to understand that my government does not mean me well. My government is not interested in what I think. It might be interested in if I think it and I have a political party in back of me, then it'll start to think. But I don't have a political party in back of me. the Democrats killed their own president, Kennedy. The Republicans tried to kill their own in Trump. Reagan, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that's all misty to me. But here we need to move it, or the power of the United States now and the power of its security apparatus, thanks to 9/11, and that's the first thing I saw when I saw those towers going down on TV back in, what was it, 2000. The first thing I thought of is this is going to be W and his buddies, Cheney and the rest of them. This is going to be a real good reason for them to expand the security apparatus in the United States to protect us all, of course. So we have this huge security apparatus. In harmony with that, we have this huge data gathering and data control and data analysis function within our government now. You know, Snowden went to had to leave to a horrible country. He's in where is it, Moscow now, with the assassin over there, Putin. And he was going to be convicted of exposing the crimes of others. That's what he was going to be convicted of if they got him back to the United States. Pay attention, please. I beg you. I know I'm just this old guy sitting here yelling and at the wind, howling at the moon. But I will tell you, if we don't get our shit together, if we don't stand and if we don't hang together, as they said in the Revolutionary War, we will certainly hang separately. They're working on it right now. And used to be an advocate of gun control, not anymore. There's an instinctive reason why people want to hold on to their weapons in America. What do we have, like 600 million weapons, kinetic weapons in the United States? Kinetic meaning they got bullets in them. I don't know how many other types of weapons we have, radar weapons or laser weapons or maser weapons or whatever. But I beg somebody out there, it can't be me. I'm too old, don't have the energy for it, don't have the connections for it. Nobody knows who I am. You don't know me, okay? I do pay attention. I'm here. Please listen to this. Please tell the people that are in charge on the right and the real left, progressives, not the social progressives, not the nutcases, not the DEI people, not the gun control people, not the feminist people, but the people who think that are not members of a tribe. Please don't be a member of the left or the right or the ups or the downs or the greens, the blues, the reds, the whatever. You need to think for yourself and not adopt a tribe. But you also need to know that you can't get everybody to agree on everything. What you have to do is, first of all, save the country. Then you can go back and argue about whether or not, whatever the hell, whether the national anthem should remain the militaristic thing it is right now, or it should be changed to America the Beautiful. Surprise you to know that the Battle Hymn of the Republic's only been around since, I believe, the 1920s. So maybe 100 years. Before that, I don't know if we even had a national anthem, but it certainly wasn't that. Anyway, I don't want to start that argument. I've got about 20 seconds left, and I would just beg you to ask, demand, mention it all the time. Keep the word out there. We need a new political party now. Bye.